I'm dressed up because it's time for a literature review on GenXGrownUp. Sort of. I mean, I'll explain. Just roll the thing.
Don't you know that you're a grown up? No games, no puns. Not a lot of you are grown up.
Hey, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John. I am a GenXGrownUp. Thank you for checking out this video and, with any luck, the rest of the channel. I promised there was a literature review coming, and I'll get to that and I'll explain. But first, let me say that ever since I had the opportunity to meet Jerry Buckner, that's right, national treasure and co-author of Pac-Man Fever, Jerry Buckner, at the Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta this year. I'll actually put a link to that video up in the corner if you'd like to look. In that interview, we learned a lot about his career and the history of Pac-Man Fever. And since then, we have been close personal friends. Okay, not really. We haven't exactly been snuggle bunnies, but we have been staying in touch via email. And Mr. Buckner wrote me just the other day to say, hey John, we just released our brand new ebook all about the history of Pac-Man Fever. So of course I wasted not a second. I hopped over to Amazon.com and picked up my copy, only $5 for the ebook. Paperback is $10 if you wanted that. And I'll put a link down in the description where you can go and pick up your very own copy. I was expecting nothing but the best out of this ebook. I grabbed it right away. I was on a flight, so I'm like, great, I'll give it a read. I actually read the entire book in under an hour. It's super short. It's about 13 chapters, and some of the chapters are about 5 paragraphs. And in fact, I didn't learn a lot that I didn't already know as a super fan of Pac-Man Fever. In many ways, this book feels a lot more like a series of blog posts aggregated together by Jerry Buckner and his co-author. At any point in the book where a topic could stand a little more expansion or research, it's just kind of left lying with the raw facts. A perfect example of this is the section of the book where Mr. Buckner describes meeting Toru Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man. Mr. Iwatani signed an autograph for Mr. Buckner and put a personal note in Japanese. But rather than finding out what it means, it just says, we don't know, maybe you as a reader know what this says in Japanese. I would have thought that doing a little research and getting a translation of the Japanese would have completed that story rather than literally in the book saying, hey reader, do you know what this says? Let us know. Therefore, at face value, knowing that it's $5, you can read it in less than an hour, and it's little more than a series of anecdotes compiled together from Mr. Buckner, I can only really give this book 2.5 tokens out of 5. GenXGrownUp is dedicated to bringing you new
I'm not done.
That was not the end of the review. Look, get me out of this box. Okay, better. Thank you. Yeah, so this is not the end of the review. I know I just said 2.5 tokens out of 5, but that's not the end of the story. I said at face value. I stand by my original statement that if that's all there was to this book, 2.5 tokens, but there's so much more. When you get to the back of the book, Jerry Buckner has jammed this with bonuses that are well worth beyond what you're paying for the book. So you get the entire album, Pac-Man Fever, in MP3. There are links to it that you can download all 8 tracks of the original album. The cheapest you can buy the track anywhere right now is like $8. That's $5 with a book, all right? Plus you get the karaoke version of Pac-Man Fever. Plus you get the country and western version of Pac-Man Fever. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Plus a downloadable copy of the Pac-Man Fever sheet music. The crowning jewel to all of this is by following the invitation link in the back of the book, either the ebook or the paperback, you get exclusive access to the Pac-Man Fever Vault. This is a password-protected portion of Jerry Buckner's website that is full of exclusive videos and audio and stories and access to all of the downloads that we talked about before. From there, you can even download the entire anniversary edition of Pac-Man Fever that includes the original tracks, plus commentary from Jerry Buckner himself telling you the story of these songs. I mean, look, so the book by itself, you're gonna be done with in about an hour. That's it. If you heard all the stories, that's gonna be old news for you, like I have if you're a super fan. But look, if you don't already own Pac-Man Fever, or you own it and don't own the anniversary edition, or you own it and would like to have the country, or you'd like to have the sheet music, or you want access to that vault so you can see way more about the history and background of this amazing 80s album, you cannot go wrong $5 for this. So, not at face value, taking everything into account, wow, 5 tokens out of 5 for this Pac-Man Fever ebook. by Jerry Buckner. I hope you'll click the link down below and buy a copy for yourself, and I really hope you found something to enjoy in this video. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. GenXGrownUp is dedicated to bringing you new Generation X inspired videos every week. Here are a couple more you can watch right now, but for even more, subscribe and enable those notifications. And if you love what we do, we invite you to support us over on Patreon. And of course, your feedback in the comments and a quick thumbs up are always appreciated.